Hey neighbors, welcome back to another Friday craft video. If you saw last week, we started the basics of the magic circle and a few other specialty stitches. Today, we're gonna learn how to make the puff stitch that you can use for little makeup rounds or wipes, or in bigger patterns like our trivet that is now available in our shop. If you've been here before, welcome back to the garden. If you're new here, hi, my name is Ryan. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, varying of all different types of crafts to help you learn how to do different things. Friday is specifically our fiber craft day, and we are currently working on different crochet patterns. If you haven't already seen the first two videos in the series, I would recommend going to watch them because they do teach you the basics of the chaining and how to do things, as well as the magic chain, or the magic circle, which is what we use to make this in the round. Don't forget that everything that we teach you how to do in all of our different videos, you can actually join us on our Ko-fi page under our Brew Crew and other tiers that we have that release every pattern that we work on, or just to help fund us doing yarn hauls and other craft related things, so make sure you check that out. Other than that, let's get into it. In our last video, we learned how to do the magic circle, and today we're going to take that a bit further and learn how to do a puff stitch, which is something that I use very regularly in a lot of my patterns. We use the puff stitch to make things like this, our trivet hot pad, which is available in our shop. If you're making things like an oven mitt, you want it to be 100% cotton so that you don't have any like acrylic melting or anything. So if you check right here, it'll tell you how much, like what the material is made out of. And then it has all of this that we've gone over in this video. You're gonna go ahead and I like to center pull because it makes it a little easier. Go ahead and make that nice and straight. Grab your hook. I'm using a 5.5 with the grippy on it, just to make my life a little easier. And we're gonna go ahead and start our magic circle, which you learned in this video. Remember, we do the crossover, pull through like this, and then chain one. We're gonna go ahead and add a puff stitch into this. So if you look at your puff stitch, it's multiple stitches that are just kind of put together, and then they have one loop tying them together. So in order to make that, we are going to take this like you would for your double crochets, and you're going to yarn over your hook, go into your circle, pull up, yarn over again, and repeat the process. One more time, yarn over, in, and pull up a loop. And I like to do it 4 times. You can do it as many times as you want. And each pattern that you do will tell you specifically how many to do. But now that I have all of these loops on my hook, I'm gonna go ahead and yarn over one more time and pull through all of these loops, which can take a second when you're first learning how to do it. So it sits like this. And then I'm going to yarn over and chain one, and that's gonna seal my puff. So we're gonna do 6 of those in this to get our first start. We're gonna make it a little easier for ourselves by giving us more slack, but we're gonna yarn over, come in, pull up, yarn over, come in, pull up, yarn over, in, pull up, and one more, yarn over, in, pull up. And now you're gonna pinch this, yarn over again, pull through even that last one, and then chain one. And we're gonna repeat it again. Yarn over, in, 1, yarn over, in, 2, yarn over, in, 3, yarn over, in, 4. Now for this part, if you don't want to pull through all of it at once, you can pull through just a few of them at a time to make it easier for yourself. As long as you're going through all of the loops on your hook. And then you're going to chain over and yarn over and chain 1. So now we've got 3. So I'm going to do 3 more, and then we'll keep going. All right, now that we have all 6 of our puffs on here, we're going to take the string and pull it as tight as we can without breaking it to close the circle. And because we're working in the round, you're going to take this into this first loop right here and do a slip stitch. So we're going to go right in the top of this puff stitch here through both, and we're going to pull up and slip stitch in, and that closes the first round for us. If you're like me and you don't like to weave ends in, it's a lot easier to pull up both ends and do them at the same time. So I'm gonna show you what that is here. We're gonna take this, we're gonna go in through both, and I'm gonna grab both of these, that extra tail and the working chain. I'm gonna pull through, and I'm gonna slip stitch and just pull it all the way until the tail comes through. That's gonna keep this locked in here, and you're just gonna make sure it stays tight. And now as I keep working, I'm gonna hold this down and work over the ends to create a seamless, like I did here, because you can't see where that stitch was because it was woven in around as we created this. So now to make your continuing rounds, you're gonna take your tail and hold it over this, and you're just gonna do the same thing again in between these chains. So if you look on this example, there it grows, so you do like increases and things, and your pattern will tell you how to do it, but it shows you where you're supposed to stitch. I always go in between to keep things going. Sometimes you can go on top, it really just depends on the shape that you're trying to work. But for this, I'm gonna show you how to do it around, just one increase, and then we'll go from there. We're gonna do 2 puff stitches in each one of these gaps. So in between where these go, so this little stitch right here. So you're gonna take your tail and put that in front of you, yarn over, move the tail back, and then we're just gonna go in between these 2 puff stitches. And that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull it up, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook, including that little difficult one that doesn't want to come, and chain. And now you can do a chain one, or you can just do it straight in. It depends on what your pattern asks for. I'm not gonna do a chain one, we're just gonna put everything right in. So I'm just gonna yarn over, and I'm gonna go right back into the same spot to increase. Mind you, this tail is still being worked over, so it's still gonna be pinned right against this. Yarn over 2, yarn over 3, yarn over 4. Yarn over and pull through all of them. Chain 1, and we're going to complete that all the way around. Now that we've gone all the way around, you'll see it's open here. The tail is completely woven in. For most of it, you can snip it from here because it's not going to come out anymore. Or I'll show you how to weave it in a second. And we're just going to close this by doing another slip stitch in the top of the first chain and pulling through. So again, if this is where we are right here, we're going to go in this chain right here, first chain we worked on, pull up, and slip stitch through. And now it's finished. And you can either continue going and using this. I'm going to use this as a little makeup round, like a little face wipey. So I'm going to go ahead and snip that. I'm going to give myself a pretty decent tail. So right where this color switches is where I'm going to cut it. And then I'm going to pull all the way through. Now let's get a needle and finish it. We keep all of our needles in a little box like this. You can do it however you want, but it will save you a significant amount of time if you can get a little container to put them in. When it comes to weaving in ends, if it's a small project, you want to use a small needle, but I got giant hands and I like the big loops because I think they're easier to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and thread my needle. You can do it however you want. This is a way that Teal Yarn Crafts does it. I've always found that super easy. You just take your tail and weave it over the eye of your hook and then just pop it through and pull. Now for this, we're gonna get nice and close so you can see where the chain is. So it's going in this direction. So I'm gonna go over to this, not this one, but this one right here. And I'm gonna go under and pull it. And I'm going to turn it around, and now I'm going to come back and go down in the same one and pull. And that's going to give me a nice, smooth finish that looks the same as the other stitches around. And now I'm just going to thread this extra fabric in. For me, I take it underneath this one puff and pull it all the way through. Pull that tail through, and then I'm going to go over just 1 or 2 of these threads to make it lock, and then I'm going to go back through this puff and the next puff. tail again. I'm gonna take it over 1 or 2 pieces one more time. Go through that puff again, through the other puff again, all the way through. You're just gonna repeat this until you feel that it's secure. I'll probably do one more. Snip. Snip. Give it a little work. Now you have a little mini puff stitch round. You use this for a makeup, face wash, whatever you want, or you can develop it into a further pattern. This is our kitchen trivet that is available in our shop. And these rounds will be available for Valentine's Day for little makeup removers. But that's the basic way to start the puff stitch. And if you want to learn how to make more things like this, you can always add us on Ko-fi. We have a membership tier dedicated to crafts and patterns that we release so that you never miss out on anything. And there you have it. That's how you make these little rounds and the start of our other patterns, which you can find on our shop. Make sure that you share with us on Instagram, Hippie Witch Heart, all the different things you made. We love to see the crafts that y'all do as well. And if you made it this far in the video, make sure that you like and subscribe so that you never miss out on any of our videos and help our channel grow. It really does make a difference. I will see you all Monday for a vlog video, and I hope you have a good weekend. Bye.